Shalom, shalom, everyone. This is Natsarym Queen D coming you live from Kumasi, Ghana. I'm doing this video, which is about 7:05 in the morning in Ghana and possibly 3:05 a.m. in New York. Reason why I have chosen to do this video is because I I actually want to tell all of you about my testimony and how I got into the truth and how I met Natsarym Soldier and everything. So pretty much it all started in 2020. Sorry, 2021, technically. Um, I was going through a stage in my life. I had just turned 32 a month prior, and I was going through some stuff. I had arguments with certain people, which should have had happened, but it helped me make the best decision possible for my life. So I ended up I ended up meeting Natsarym Soldier, whose real name is Baruch, whom and his American name is Ed. I met him at my former job, New York City Housing Authority. We ended up working together. He told me about Ron Dalton, Hebrews and Negroes, told me about his books and everything. And he was teaching me he was trying to spit some knowledge then to me about this truth that he'd been walking in 10 years. I'm like, okay, I'm hearing you, but I'm a little iffy still because I was still in my stage. But I know at that time I had disconnected myself a little bit, slowly started to disconnect myself from Christianity, but I was still going, not as often, but I was still going at times to support naive me, that was within my ignorance. So, Natsarym Soldier, we started talking, we started text messaging, and one thing led to another. And about 3 weeks later, we started dating in the third month, the 27th day. I would say 20 days later, I left my mother's house and went to live with him. And now we continue in our journey here in Ghana. The foundation has not been without its ups and downs, but I wouldn't change it for anything. Yahuwah had brought him into my life to bring me to a level in my life where I should have been. If it hadn't been for Natsarym Soldier, truth is I might be still be in the States, living in this wickedness, and possibly, I'm hoping I'm wrong for saying that. Forgive me. I probably would have committed suicide, honestly, because where I was going at that time, when you have everyone around you who loves you, but you still feel alone and you still feel that pain and everything, and you still feel that you have to continuously fill this void, that's a whole nother situation, and you have to deal with that. So this journey to Ghana was not easy. And now that I have quit my job and I'm still looking for a job, but I'm grateful for Yahuwah holding me up. I'm grateful for Yahuwah Yahusha still keeping me grounded. I would never, and I would never, I will never, I will never, I will never, I will never bash my husband on any type of social media, and I will not start to do that. So please do not expect me to do that. I love him very much. I am in love with him. But my love for Yahuwah Yahusha comes first. Because at the end of the day, I'm I'm the type of person that is transparent, even though everything should not be said on social media, but I am the type that is transparent. So I apologize for those who started watching the channel, who saw them old videos. But that's where I had transitioned from. Before I got into the truth, I was a little more active in the community where I came from. I was, as you saw with all the crosses and stuff, yeah, I was, and I was an ordained clergy in a Baptist assembly. Some of y'all would call it CHURCH. I was a second generation preacher. I was taught the brochure, the scriptures at an early age, I would say. I started going to the building made with hands at age 7. There was pictures of me as early as 7 that I started going there, dressing up. You have to make a presentation for a person who's not even my skin complexion. Very sad, very sad, very sad. My grandmother every weekend would have me come over, type up her sermons, and would have me do all the cross references. Even though would have me, open the book, type everything verbatim from the King James. Sometimes she used a contemporary English version, CEV. But I had grew up around it, reading the brochure, reading the scriptures. I have grew up around understanding the word. So when I came into the name of Yahuwah and Yahusha, I just had to make a change and get rid of some stuff and get rid of stuff that bothers me and bothers other people. So I got rid of it. I got rid of it. I I got rid of it. It was a process, but I got rid of it. And I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything for the world, to be honest with you. I wouldn't change the fact that I met Natsarym Soldier. I wouldn't change that either. Because he is part of me, he is my half. And the way I feel and think of him, for those who thought I was brainwashed to join this troop, I wasn't brainwashed. As you can tell, I'm not brainwashed. I'm fully confident in my decision. Even though it took me a while, it was a process because I should have been left. I should have been left the States. I should have been left my mother's house. I should have been left my family dwelling. But it was a process, and it was a process that's not his fault. I was not forced into it. So those in the States who thought I was being forced to it, who knows certain behaviors about him, there's a reason why he behaves the way he behaves. He's angry. He's angry that the curse of Devarim 28, which is Deuteronomy 28, for those who don't understand Abri, it's upon us. So you should be mad at the curse that you are in and that you are continuing to live in. We all need to get our minds right. We all need to straighten our straighten our minds and our hearts and our nafash, because only Yahuwah can help you understand the Torah. Also, check out Daniel, also known as Daniel 10 and 6, and Kazum, also known as Revelation 1 and 14, if you really need to know the color of Yahushua HaMashiach. The man, that picture you see in the assembly is a lie. It's a lie. His name is not, the man's name is not JC. That man, their real name, they put their, of that pale face image is Caesar Borgia. So, with that being said, even though I'm rambling on and on because I'm speaking my mind, but I'm also coming real and transparent. So, with that being said, you don't need to be brainwashed by that image that allows you to continue to live in your sin instead of striving for perfection. That same, yes, I said it, that same image that allows you to say, oh, it's the God in me, but you still want to disrespect when you feel threatened. There's no need necessary to go disrespecting other people because of your insecurities. Also, that is part of the curse. Jealousy was mentioned in the book of Genesis, also known as Bereshit, which is an Abri. Who knew? You remember when in the book Genesis, where Sarai was jealous of Hagar because Hagar was able to conceive a child and she wasn't? So, with that being said, we're gonna keep it real. We're gonna keep it 100, and we're gonna speak some positivity here. I love each and every single one of you, but I wish our people would come to the truth. Our people will seek the Bashur, would seek Yahuwah at Yahusha, will come into the true name and stop being brainwashed by a place made with hands and by a man who's out to pimp you for your kasaf. And those pastors that I had grew up with, that I know for over 20 something years, if they are not aware of the truth, they still continue to live in that brainwash because all the years that you've been teaching the people, brainwashing the people, I'm pretty sure the truth was revealed to you somehow, some way, and you just not acknowledging it. They'll acknowledge and tell you that Yahusha is our complexion, bronze, but they still want you to come in, give your so-called tithes and offering and benevolent offerings in the form of kasaf, moolah, and you still want to continue to get a so-called feel tube is good in Abri message, and you leaving out the same way you came in, still living in that sin and continuing to sin. Come out of her, my people. Come out of Babylon. Leave, flee, leave. I hope you subscribe to the Natsarym Soldier channel here on YouTube. I pray that this little bit of encouragement warms your hearts and your minds. Shalom.